This is going to be getting into the Vaush shit. He apparently put out a video. I think I have it brought up here. I might just raw start watching this. But from what people were telling me yesterday, it's fucking horrible. I will tell you this. If you look like this, don't ever try to reach out to the working class. I'm just going to tell you that. I know some of you guys out there are like Vaush fans and shit, and you're like, listen, I am the working class. I work at a McDonald's. I work at a fucking Home Depot. I am a landscaper. I am a factory worker. I work on the flight line at fucking CVG Airport as a fucking flight crew mechanic. Okay, I get it. You are a member of the working class, but you are not the working class. The working class is a massive, massive chunk of America. And if you look like this, they don't need to hear from you. They just don't. Don't even try to address them. If you look like you're set up for doing a masterpiece theater cosplay, shut the fuck up and back up. If you're wearing a pocket square while sitting in a room with bisexual lighting, before you open your mouth to try to talk to people about working class issues, consider instead shutting the fuck up, okay? If I have to stack on top of that being a known pedophile on the internet, it's a kind of a fucking loss, all right? I think we're just going to pop into this. I'm going to let him hear what he has to say. And then I'm going to get into Vaush should have never been talking politics for the entirety of this election because he's worthless.
Best election night. You've probably found that out by now. If you're finding out from my video, that's really rough. You've probably already seen. It's probably like omnipresent news-wise. Now I'll cut these two. I love you, but I'll cut these two. I'll read every dono. Look, a lot. I'm gonna.
This is the fucking Epstein Island official, like the official flightwear. You can't be known as the pedo guy online and then also just be dressed like you're gonna be in the background of any Epstein Island photo. That's just rough.
I'm gonna cut the bullshit. It's a really bad result. It's a bad result. It is so bad.
God, I can't get this fucking camera.
People are going to be studying this for decades. Like this is, I think in a lot of ways, this is actually worse than Hillary Clinton's result in 2016. I think that if you ask me right now,
that's yuck lighting,
why it went down this way, ballpark answer, misogyny, weakened rhetoric on immigration. That is to say, Democrats stopped pushing back against anti-immigrant sentiment and started kind of adopting it themselves, and a lack of economic populism. They are fighting for procedural institutionalist rhetoric in a world that is populist. That's my just ballpark guess right now. Honest to God, the results here are insane.
This is a little bit of jibber jabber.
You know, ashamed to admit that my estimations of it were wrong. I think a lot of people's were. That's life. You know, you make plans, God laughs. Your question is, what do we do next? Well,
so before he gets into that, because we didn't get a lot of fucking background, I'm going to tell you guys what I think happened in this election and what went wrong. All right. First and foremost, the messaging on the Democratic side was weak because they didn't have a lot of time for it. Okay, there should have been a primary. Sure, really, we were going to lose 2024 now in retrospect. Pretty obviously, hindsight is 2020. We lost 2024 because in 2020 we elected a man that was too old to be president, especially too old to be president for 2 terms. And the best thing that you can do after a single term of president is run again because incumbents have the best position to run. So we basically got fucking arm locked 4 years before the election even fucking got called at the start of the last election because we ran a guy who was fucking already in pre-Alzheimer's and who literally had so much brain damage by the end of it. I can talk freely. I don't care about doomering now. Fucking after the fact. All right. Now I'm just describing it. And who at the end of his presidency had basically an entirely different shaped head. It's crazy to see, you age 20 years in the presidency, he fucking crypt creepered. That's what it is. He turned into the crypt creeper. It is what it is. The issue with that is there was not a lot of messaging that he could get out because he couldn't fucking talk right. But also the person that was going to get tapped to replace him got tapped way too late because running the incumbent was the best option. You didn't do that. You tapped somebody too late. You couldn't get people fired up for it. And then on top of that, Kamala Harris's messaging had to hit as many points as she could in as short order as possible. And then she went with whatever that was, joy. The joy shit, okay? There's a lot of other factors on here. I'm talking specifically about Democratic Party strategy was fucked from the get-go. A Democratic Party strategy has basically been fucked since 2014, okay? Running Hillary Clinton was a bad idea. Unlikable candidate, literally just dislikable. She was the wife of a guy that had already run and fucking raped a girl in office. Bill Clinton's a fucking rapist. Sorry to say it. He fucked his secretary and ruined her life over it. Shout out Monica. And people don't forget, especially like when it's only 2 presidencies fucking away. You know what I mean? 16 years is short in politics. And so Hillary Clinton was not a good person to bring up. Detached, rich, confused, already also way too fucking old to be interesting after we had Barack Obama. Completely dropped the bag. Did not reach the people that she needed to reach. Fucked it up. Lost the election. Donald Trump won for pretty much all of the opposite reasons. Okay. Joe Biden ran during COVID. We had the opportunity to get way more people out to vote than ever before. A lot of the votes here where people were like, these people didn't show up to vote. A lot of the people in those demographics are also people that have jobs and maybe just didn't take the day off because they thought other people had it in hand. The lack of expanse to, the lack of early voting everywhere and shit is a pain in the ass. That is what it is. You kind of can't get around it. Maybe a lot of people sat it out. I'll get into more stuff too. But the largest demographics, according to these exit polls, is by far white guys. And I got to say, and you can be mad as shit about this if you want. This election, the Democratic side did not promise much to white dudes. I know you're like, but they have everything. I know it's crazy. Me as a white guy, I'm being treated badly. But here's the thing. If you want to motivate somebody to do something, you have to motivate them to do it. I know it's a circular definition, but if you don't provide them an impetus to get out and vote, they might not do it. Because if the incentive isn't there, they might not go for it. This isn't like, oh, hey, I need to specifically in my mind say, like, what do white men want in this specific demographic? It's just the messaging seemed to be specifically on niche issues that were like internet important and completely fucking disintegrated, right? There was not anywhere near enough focus on labor rights. Labor rights should have been everything. Yeah, Joe Biden was better on labor rights than pretty much any other president. It's a low bar to fucking pass. I mean, in recent memory. But it's a low bar to pass. And him fucking over the rail workers a couple years back was rough, okay? And that lost them the Teamsters endorsement. It did. And they can get fucked. You don't get to have it. The Teamsters didn't want to endorse at the national level, and so you don't get that endorsement because you didn't give them enough. Kamala Harris got called out by the Teamsters and failed utterly to respond to that. Teamsters represent 1 million people. I think it's 1.5 million across the nation. There's a lot of other people that look to Teamsters that are aside of the Teamsters that are like, hey, they're pretty good on labor issues. If these guys aren't fucking for Kamala, maybe they have a point. And they did. Kamala Harris did not promise them anything. She did not carrot them into an endorsement, and she very easily could have. So they non-endorsed. They didn't endorse either side. Massive fucking L. And that's probably the closest that you're going to get to a dead honest explainer for why Gen Xers, specifically like the Gen Xer demographic of white guys, did not really show up. Those are a lot of people that are in the mid to late stage of their working careers. They are people that are thinking about long-term effects of workplace injuries. There are people that are thinking of retirement. There are people that maybe have all of their retirement tied up in stocks and bonds. There are people that are concerned about the stock market because they have invested. And if they're not going to get anything from your presidency, that's going to make them way less likely to show up. And if your presidency is going to diminish their standpoint, that's going to make them even less likely to show up. Just thinking about other people all the time is good. It's based. It's very cool. You know what I mean? Trying to be an anti-racist is based as fuck. However, if you can't inspire somebody to go and spend a few hours of their day to go and vote for you, that's ultimately, finally going to be on you. As far as the Democrats go, that's why I think they fucked up the most. Do I think that their Israel-Palestine thing was a fuck up? No, I think that they basically had their arms behind their back on that one. I was saying this last night. Israel is a fucking loser proposition on the entire blue side of the aisle. You can't win. But especially within the last year, the uncommitted movement has made every not win into an absolute loss. Pro-Palestine protesters on the left side of things are the biggest cancer in our entire movement. They're fucking insane. They are destructive. A lot of them are actually actively anti-Semitic. There's insane amounts of pro-terrorist rhetoric, especially from Hassan and his camp, which isn't a non-existent chunk of the electorate. Hassan has multiple millions upon millions of views as an influencer to his own circuit of people. But in addition to that, Hassan has literally been put up as a poster boy of anti-Semitic, pro-terrorist, anti-American thought as a leftist, and indicative of what you get if you support progressives and allow them either into the Democratic side of the aisle or allow them into American politics at all. And he is also, by default, of trying to say that, I don't know, he fucking donated $250,000, $10 million, $2 billion to the Amazon Workers Fund, whatever I don't care about your indulgences, okay? I know I was raised Catholic, but I'm with Luther on the 99 fucking theses, at least a couple of them, specifically indulgence is bad, all right? That was a major fuck up, an insane fuck up, for spending an entire fucking year dogging the Democrats relentlessly. So instead of having more of your people engaged or interested in voting, pretty much any fucking given Hassan voter is probably completely fucking doomered, completely fucking like black pilled on the electoral process. It's the same on Vaush's side. That's what I was calling out Demon Mama and her fucking little groomer coven over there for being anti-electoral and being anti-fucking solutionist and trying to separate themselves from the electoral practices in America that actually can make you accomplish something, and instead doing literally liberal flight from red states, giving up on the people that are there and using fucking wealth and charity in order to try to move yourself somewhere while letting everyone else that's still there get fucked. Literally hopping on lifeboats before the boat is even fucking hit the goddamn iceberg. Disgusting, disgraceful fucking behavior. More important than that, and you can look at Richie Torres, who is a Democratic congressperson from the Bronx. He's a Democrat. He used Hassan and Hassan's face and Hassan's messaging to get himself an 85% over 15% victory against a Republican in his district, and earned himself a fucking ton of money and is taking that messaging to Congress. And he is literally being anti-Hassan in Congress very effectively. If he can do that as a Democrat talking about somebody who played video games with AOC once, imagine how far the anti-Hassan messaging gets on the red side. So not only do you have to see that these fucking progressive, uncommitted movement fuckos, not only do they take votes away from our side by investing in the messaging of third-party spoiler candidates, by doomering their own fucking audience, they also provide ample fucking ammunition to every single one of our enemies by being cringe as fuck. Cringe on Maine. Cringe on their face. Frogan's literal existence, if she fucking liquidated every dollar that she had and gave it to the Democratic Party to try to get elected, she would not be able, or to try to get somebody elected, she would not be able to outdo the amount of harm she does by just literally being on screen and talking at all. She's antithetical to a victory in America. Literally just antithetical. This entire subsection. And they need to be treated with due hostility going forward. There is no working with them. That is done. There is no working with the uncommitted movement. They just have to be mitigated. They have to be treated poorly. They have to be fucking pushed aside, quarantined, and left to fucking rot somewhere until they're skeletonized and you can fucking make some goddamn bone meal out of them or something and make that whole subsection of the internet valuable once again. But right now, that's one of the most major fucking issues, is that our online, the stuff that we can fix. We can fix. You're here with me, right? Can we fix Democrat messaging? Not like this. Not immediately. There's none of us are going to be able to say like, hey, fucking whoever the current nanny, Chuck Schumer. Hey, Chuck. Hey, I know you're in the Senate. Can you do us some favors? I'm just some fucking asshole. I'm a guy on the internet. Hi, I'm a guy on the internet. That doesn't exist. Okay. What you can do is elect local politicians that eventually someday become those politicians and make sure that they know that they got elected because progressives are fucking stumping for them. They are going to come from working class places. In fucking Arkansas, in Kentucky, in Tennessee. There's a lot of fucking prospects on the ground. Everyone only talks about them when they get kicked out of the fucking house for speaking truth to power. Do you know what I mean? When was the last time any of your major fucking streamers were talking about the guys that, what's her name? Fucking Aaron Reed's, Zoe Zephyr. I think Zoe Zephyr just won re-election in her race. I know that because Aaron Reed was talking about it and I follow Aaron Reed on Twitter. Based. Cool. Zoe Zephyr. Good job. Those are the fucking races that you need to be winning. We need to focus on state power because we are small fry. You are not a multinational conglomerate. You are not a multinational corporation. You are not GE. You are not P&G. You are not Tyson. You are not fucking Blackwater or whatever the fuck. You are some asshole like me, maybe with a mic, maybe with a voice, more than likely with just a few $100s for donos every year or so, okay? And what you need to do is back the fuck away from this constant doomering and hyper focus on national elections that come every 4 years and focus on the things that you can win at home. If you can take the governor seat, which is not hard, the fucking dividends in the votes at the national level right now between blue and red are almost 4 million, right? Which is almost basically about 5 million, 4.8 million. That's the difference, okay, in that vote. That's a shitload of people. A state's worth of people voted for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris, okay? In a state, these dividends get down to the thousands, sometimes to tens, sometimes to single fucking digits, and those are victories that you can get. I was kicking myself in the ass. I could have fucking won an election by signing up for it. For the Soil and Water Conservation District, it was vote for. 2 people had actually run, and then there was 4 spaces for write-ins. I could have just gotten elected to that. You could have gotten elected to that. I'm sorry that I was injured. I could have fucking got people focused on this stuff. That is your fucking in. That is our in. There are uncontested races. There are unexciting races at the local level. And organizations like Progressive Victory are failing by focusing on national politics. They are failing by sucking up resources from fucking middle America, sucking up donos from people that live in Georgia, which is even really that much of a middle of America, but still fucking battleground states. I didn't even mean to say Georgia, but from middle America, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Missouri, fucking Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, fucking all of these middle fucking areas, right, that aren't necessarily 100% accounted for. You look at them and everyone says, oh no, we're going to write them off. And by everyone, I mean specifically all the time Vaush, all the fucking time Vaush, all the time Vaush is fucking unironically very often racist, very often classist fucking audience. Write them off. Say, I don't give a shit. Fuck those racists. I laugh when they fucking die. And then when you actually look, it's okay, yeah, they vote for these Republicans because the Republicans have been getting fucking wins there for decades. But when it comes to actual fucking issues that we agree with them on, they're voting completely against the party line, completely against. And here in Kentucky, the constitutional change just right now in this election, the constitutional change in Kentucky to make private schools like the thing and destroy public schools got knocked down. That got knocked down, but they still went fucking 75-25 for Trump. I think it might be down to 68, 22. For Trump against Harris. And how do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile, no, it's just white people are fucking racist as shit. They hate fucking black people. They fucking hate black women. So that's why Kamala Harris lost. But we didn't get as many votes as we did before. And Barack Obama won once, you know what I mean? So it's it's clearly not just the race thing. Because if race was a fucking non-starter for all these people, he couldn't have won. We're talking about Democrats, left side voters, all right? Unless all the non-racist Democrats were apparently in their fucking late 80s and shit and cashed out after that fucking election was over. It just doesn't make fucking sense. It just doesn't fucking track. We can get in there and we can get wins. And you need to be able to talk to people. Maybe even run as a non-Democrat. It's not going to be hard. Getting 1,000 votes to win a mayoral race in a city of 5,000 isn't crazy. People do it all the fucking time. That's how you start out. Y'all fucking hate John Fetterman, but John Fetterman played the game right. Yeah, he went to Yale and Harvard and shit. Maybe he had a little bit of a bigger war chest, but he went to a fucking no account, dead as fuck Rust Belt town, became mayor, did a little fuck around there, and now he's a goddamn senator. He's one of the most powerful people on earth, and he's pro-Israel. If you're butthurt about that, get fucked. He owns 1% of the total fucking power on earth at any given time because he's a senator and he has a vote in the United States Senate. Get fucked. That's leverage. That's power. That is what you are turning down. That is what you are turning down when you hyper-focus on national elections and you don't focus on local elections, when you don't support local candidates, and when you allow these fucking streamers, hard left, centrist, even in the case of fucking IRI, and others to try to distract you away from the more important races, which are your state Senate races, your state representative races. Those are insanely important. Legislators are more important every fucking race. Every fucking race, they are more important than your executive branch official because they make the rules that the executive branch guy executes. The executive guy is a matter of competence, right? The morality comes from the legislature. I don't give a shit if you have an amoral president. They get limited in their power by the judiciary and the fucking legislature. But if the legislature and the judiciary are on their side, then they don't get limited. Then they can do everything they want, and they're still going to have to do what the legislature says. Turning your fucking eyes away from that and turning a blind eye to it is fucking psychotic. Well, we didn't say to do that. We just said to vote for Jill Stein. That's a spoiler candidate. Voting for Jill Stein is the same thing as saying don't vote at all because there's no one worth voting for if you want to win. It's literally saying just stay home. I'm going to throw my vote away. That's what you're saying as a fucking influencer. Even if you feel like you didn't, you did. Congratulations. You did say that. Let's see. How much did this chick soak up? Jill Stein soaked up close to $1 million. All right. Robert Kennedy she soaked up 628,000 votes. Robert Kennedy soaked up 600,000. Chase Oliver, Libertarian Party, soaked up 563. Other candidates soaked up 318. So if you add all that up together, that's about 2 mil of the 4 mil difference, pushing it, right? Not an insignificant number. That's 2 million total in third-party candidates. The difference was about 4 million. If you extrapolate out that the arguments for those third-party candidates made one person vote and made one person not vote, then you have the 4 million, right? If it was one person voted and you convinced two people that this is an election, I'm going to sit out because, yeah, you're right. A third-party candidate would probably be better, but I don't want to throw my vote away. I just don't even want to go to vote. Now someone's not there. They're not putting their name on the ballot, which you can see represented in a lot of the down ballot fucking initiatives that are going on. All the numbers are fucked nationwide. And so you just talked people out of voting for a number of reasons. Now, that not necessarily be every single one of them. And there's multiple reasons why an election that involves over 300 million fucking people will turn out a certain way. Okay. And about like almost fucking what was the total voter turnout? They don't have that up here immediately, but still. U.S. House, red as fuck. A lot of incumbent victories on the red side. A lot of flips. A lot of red flips. Some blue withheld. It's a bad day. And it's 100% the fault of these bad political spokespeople in our area, right? That's what we can fix. Would it change the election entirely? There's no way to tell. Now. It's done. It's over. Okay? But a year of Hassan saying, I don't even know I don't even feel like I can vote. You're just voting for one genocider or the other. Do you think a year of that is going to turn into a positive election turnout? Do you think that's going to help not get Republicans elected? You have to be stupid. You're filth. You're below my feet. I tread on you. I want to plant flowers in you so you can be valuable. You're garbage if you fucking repeat that line. And right now, I'm starting to see that from people. There's this individual. This is the chick that started up some sort of co-op. She goes by Jean Gregg on Twitter. Her name's Madeline Pendleton. I've been arguing with somebody about this individual today. Who remembers when I said they called the elections before Californians' votes are even counted? Our polls aren't even closed yet, and everyone already knows how the election is going, but people spent weeks saying my third-party vote was somehow going to elect Trump, LOL. Dumb as fuck. Literal stupid as shit. Californians, stay fucking over the rest of the goddamn country by not keeping their fucking rich mouth shut. Just fill it with gold and shut the fuck up. This is a person with 24.9K followers here on Twitter, echoing the sentiment of people. There's probably, 100 million total followers spread out over several dozens, thousands of accounts. She has a much larger presence on TikTok and has been doing that same shit on TikTok too. Your singular vote obviously is not going to cost the election, you dumb fuck. You moron. You idiot. You fool. You rube. You dick fucking cock shit. All the words. Literally just hearing fucking these pseudo lefties, these fucking leftovers on the internet talk about this shit. All I can think of is that scene from Clue where the woman just starts going, my fire in my head, flames, fire. It's all I can fucking think about. She shared this article justifying herself. Democrats should abandon the third party spoiler argument. It's an opinion piece from Truth Out from 2019. Truth Out's fucking headline up here is just 2024 election. Our tags, our 5 sections: fascism, abortion, Palestine, trans rights. I think I saw this earlier and it just said Israel. So this is just some fucking lib cuck, left cuck, whatever the fuck argument site. But this is from 2019. Every fucking election's different. But still, this thing repeats the same bullshit. Where it's like, I don't know if you understand this, honey, but those 500,000 votes or 1 million votes that went to my third party candidate, 600,000 votes that went to my third party candidate, I don't know if you know this, honey, but it doesn't account for all of the votes that are missing. And it's like, how fucking dumb can you be that you would say that? Like, you should be just so ashamed of yourself. Like, we need to bring back humiliating people. We need to bring back tarring and feathering for political agents, because that's just beyond the pale fucking stupid. Just psychotically fucking insane that you would say that. Do you not understand that you're a person with a major platform? You're what we in the business call an influencer, right? You influence people. So when you say to do a thing, people do it and they take different lessons from it. Saying I'm going to vote third party because voting for either party is just voting for different types of genocide, which is her argument. That disincentivizes people to want to vote, and so they don't go out to vote as much. So a lot of people with a lot of different reasons to not vote. Every fucking vote counts, right? Eventually, when we get through all of the shortcomings, your shortcoming is part of the fucking chunk. It's part of the chunk that could have gotten us more victories here and there. And the thing about it is, too, it's spread out. You fucking up in California, okay, not have that big of a deal. But if you have a bunch of dipshit fans or your collective of different creators that are all interconnected, you know what I mean? There's BreadTube, there's all sorts of different variations of like that on TikTok as well, where you see the same 18 creators in a fucking rotation again and again and again saying the same fucking thing because the algorithm feeds you that. Now that's spreading to hundreds of thousands, millions of people throughout America. So you can be down ballot fucking over people in Kansas. You can be fucking over a mayoral election in like St. Louis. You can be fucking up a state senator election in Kentucky because you're such a fucking idiot and you're not careful with your words and you don't give a fuck. You're a spoiled, rich cocksucker from California. I only make minimum wage in California. You're rich, all right? Come to the rest of America. I don't give a fuck what poverty feels like if you live in LA, okay? It's better than where we're from. Just understand that. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Don't tell me how fucking poor you feel when you grew up in LA. I can show you way worse. You can go out into the fucking wilderness and watch people fucking literally dig wells. It's fucking psychotic. God damn it. All the way the fuck up the wall. These are the major fucking issues. The ones that we can fix and that what we need to hyper focus on. If you're watching this, if you care about this shit, if you're fucking extremely online, it is this subsection. This is where our wins come from. We have to knock down the false artifice of these fake fucking Stalinists, these play pretend Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, cocksucking anti-American fucks, put them in their goddamn place and fucking start trying to win elections for victory's sake. Okay? I want winners. I don't give a shit. Okay? I will fucking sell my soul. I will work with the fucking devil to get people a fucking working wage. And then when I'm gone, everyone can talk about how miserable I was when they all get to have a nicer, more moral life somewhere down the fucking road. But it doesn't happen overnight. There is no accelerationist fix to this. None of you are poised to win a revolution, okay? Do you know how many people on the fucking left whine at me and they're like, you killed brown people in Iraq? I'm like, well, I mean, none that didn't have it fucking coming, first off, and no kids. Fucking too small. I'm not that good of a shot. But people, oh, little sweet cheeks just did a flop. I love you, dude. Are you sleeping? Little baby. He heard that dono. Thank you, whoever just donated all those gifted subs. Da-da-da-da-da. But anyway, people fucking whine and shit about me and then talk about a revolution. Do you know who knows how to build bombs? Me. Do you know how to set an L-shaped ambush? I do. Do you know how to set a post? Do you know how to do a guard rotation? Do you know how to set up a fucking control point? Do you know how to do checkpoints? Do you know how to do body searches? Do you know how to double check people? Do you know how to fucking shoot more than 5 fucking feet away? Do you know how to clean a rifle, field strip it, put it back together? Do you know how to train people? Can you do a push-up? Like the amount of people that are talking about accelerationism and fucking revolution, and then also trying to raise money because they're afraid to stay in fucking northern New York or some weak shit, is beyond the fucking pale at this point. Like, I'm sick of hearing about it. You're a born pussy. Stop fucking asking for a fight that someone else is gonna have to win for you. It drives me insane, okay? I'm sick of fucking Hassan saying the word pussy. Hassan, if Hassan wants to fucking fix my opinion of him, he needs to go fight Sam Hyde and show that he can fucking actually like stand toe to toe for somebody, or stand toe to toe against somebody for what he fucking believes in. Thank you, by the way, everybody, for the fucking super chats and stuff. But goddamn, dude, I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm sick to fucking death of him. Crab Navy General with the $5. Did a bunch of Democrats really use all their leverage to have Biden step down so Kamala could be the first D to lose the popular vote in 20 years? That actually might be the case. It might be that they just saved Joe Biden from the embarrassment. I don't think it would have been that much different. I still believe that Kamala fucking did a better job than Joe Biden could have. Understand, like, Joe Biden has been fucking gone from sight for a while. Doddering old man. He has not been doing great. He would have had to do more debates, showed up more, and he would have probably fucked up way more. Way more. So if it was an ultimate thing of like, hey, we're going to save Joe Biden's legacy and let this fucking black woman burn, I wouldn't put it past the Dems at all. Some of them old fuckers are like legitimately evil. Radabrat gifted 20 Westside memberships. Jesus Christ, thank you very much. Amendment 3 passed in my home state of Missouri, which put abortion in our Constitution as a right. Big win for women's rights. Absolutely fucking based. Absolutely fucking based. Tremendous, as a matter of fact. By the way, Missouri, okay, so you have that fact, okay? Just said, and this is from Crunkle, by the way, thank you for the $5. Amendment 3 passed in Missouri, okay? Which constitutionalized abortion as a right. Just put that in your mind, okay? How lefty is that? That same state gave it up to Donald Trump. Missouri gave it up to Donald Trump at 61.1% of the vote to 37.7%. So they still constitutionalized abortion as a right in a red state, and Donald Trump took that state by, 251,000 votes. 251,000 votes. All right. But those voters still voted for abortion. So, like, the narrative that people think that they're telling themselves, where they're like, no, I'm telling you, if it's red, it's dead. Every time that you see a red voter, it's 100. They're a racist. They're backwards, inbred, bada. It's more complex than that. I hate to fucking break it to you. And do you have to talk to them? Yes, because they're Americans just like you. If you're not an American, if you're a European watching this shit and you have opinions, save them. I'm not interested. Not right now. I say, going to somebody that just donated 20 euros. Thank you, Fraggy. Tyler, my people, I think the best way forward is debunking Republican bullshit. Would you be willing to debate Republicans in the future? Sure. Debunking though, let me fucking respond to one more, then I want to talk about that. The left needs a media apparatus to reach Gen Z. Yeah, true. $2. Thank you, Martin Orlando. Would you be willing to debate Republicans in the future? I'll debate anybody. I don't give a shit. I'll talk to people. I would rather have conversations. I think that there needs to be less debating. There's some people, it's not that there needs to be less or there needs to be like one certain answer. I think that we need to approach things from a standpoint of there needs to be a morning after. There needs to be a morning after if we are to stay together. And I think the pure blood sports for blood sports' sake sort of debate style is limited in what it can accomplish. It's great for breaking down like, hey, I literally argue from a place of confidence, okay? And I enjoy the shit out of that. But I think that there's something to be said about having conversations and shit too. But I think you need to just cut pundits out of it. I think really it's not something I can do. Literally, I can't. It's not something I can do. I can't fucking debate Republicans until Republicans start voting on my side of the issues. Maybe that will happen for some people, but I think that that's a fucking myth we started telling each other online. There's entertainment stuff. I want people to be engaged. I want people to be thinking about their politics, and I think people should be challenged. I think it needs to come from a lot of different directions. But I think one of the biggest things is to just understand that Republicans and Republican voters, maybe some who are just normally Democrats anyway and flipped or who the fuck knows, are human beings, and they can be reached, and they have more to them. They are more complicated than Vaush would lead you to believe. This idea that every fucking Republican is some fucking backwards, redneck, hilljack fuck is psychotic. Cities, whole cities, Democratic strongholds, whole cities go red. The whole fucking city, like a half majority or more. Half majority. Half past the majority or more. 75+%. Which means that just being in a city doesn't make you a fucking a Dem. There needs to be actual outreach. There needs to be and I've been saying this for months. I've been specifically highlighting Vaush as this because he's one of the worst and most perfect fucking examples to use, because he is a repugnancy. I'll say this again. He's a profanity. He shouldn't exist. He is a pedophile. That's done. There's no point in arguing it. Oh, can we have a 5-minute conversation about how he's not? No, I'm done. I'm done. You're done. Your reputation's permanently ruined. You shared porn of what it was. Everyone knows. Go look that shit up. You did it. You're fucked. He's also that, and thinks that it's okay for him to talk down to people in the Midwest that have real issues. And then I have to deal with his fucking fans are like, I'm sorry, honey, but if someone says that I don't deserve rights because of how I was born, then I don't care what that person thinks either. Okay, well, that person has the leverage and you don't. So it's not a matter of you having something valuable to contribute to this conversation. You better figure out how to get that person to either be less inclined to support who they were supporting or support your side. Because you being ass mad doesn't really work when they fucking win. And they win routinely. They win in their state. It's the state that you're afraid to live in. You're not having any fucking conversations with them. You're not treating them like a human. Are you not surprised that they're not treating you like a human back? Well, why aren't they doing it first? I don't know. Be the bigger person, okay? If we're the ones that are talking about we see the fucking problem, it's on us to fix it if we can. Are any of them reaching out to you? No? Reach out to them. You have to take the fucking initiative. You're losing. You're losing. You're losing. Losing. All of the fucking responses you have. Tyler, you kill babies. I don't know. Republicans seem like they're mean to me. I'm scared. I'm going to blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You're losing. Doesn't matter. You're losing. Doesn't matter. You're losing. And if you keep losing ground, eventually we're going to get to the point where you're in the ghetto. And then after that, it's the camp. And then after that, it's the fucking ground. Okay? Because you're not fucking reaching out to people. You're never going to make them see the inherent humanity in you if you don't take a step to try to show them that you see the humanity in them. It's never going to happen. Sorry, is it hard? Yeah, can you do it? Maybe you can. Maybe you fucking suck. Then maybe you should shut the fuck up. Maybe you should sit the fuck down and sit the fuck out. And maybe you should let fucking adults take the fucking lead on this thing because you're politically fucking worthless. And you should shut up and sit down and get the fuck out of our way. Maybe that's the case. You know what I mean? If that's how you fucking feel. Because it's crazy that I'm seeing these results. Kentucky has gone all the way right or all the way left. Blue as fuck. 75, 80% of the vote in favor of Democratic, Republic, whatever the fuck. I'm starting to say Democrat now. I'm fucking losing my mind. Lefty side literal policies. They just went all the way there. They said, no, abortion should not be legalized in the state. Missouri, hardcore right, said, yes, abortion should be constitutionalized as a right. You can't fucking get past that. That's a legislative action, all right? That's fucking nuts. That's in there. That's power. You can't reconcile that with these people are ultra bigots. All of them are unified underneath one banner, and that banner is Donald Trump and their hatred of me. You can't fucking reconcile that. So you have to deal with it for what it is, which is an unknown. Go and talk to these people. I will fucking start doing it. I will more perfect union. But it really does boil down to the watching Vaush talk about the more perfect union video where they're out in Logan County, Kentucky, and he just starts talking about this fucking man who has a business and is talking about his struggles and his issues. Hey man, what's your opinion on this stuff? And he cuts him off. Pause. Fuck that. Let's make fun of how this guy lives like an animal. He lives like a Filipino. Sorry, not even like an animal. I think he might have said that too. Oh yeah. He said these people like are like what's the difference between this guy and a chimpanzee is what he said. And then he also said he lives like a Filipino or a rural Chinese. Like what the fuck? What the fuck does even that mean? And then I have to deal with his fans. That's not racist. Like what the fuck is then? Do you just have to say the N-word because he's already done that too? I don't know. I don't know. What is the standard for Vaush is a racist? Just he finally says, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then they say, nah, fucking, I think he's fine. The dude dressed like dude dresses like he fucking eulogizes Rhodesia in his journal every day before he goes to bed. But I digress. That shit's fucking insane. It's fucking insane to talk about people like that. It's fucking crazy. And think that they're ever going to agree with you. That gigantic red chunk in the middle does not go so far red in every single occasion in every single fucking state all the time. Even our elections here, the last one for Senate was only a 10-point difference, okay? And you're like, well, that's pretty crazy. It's not that big of a difference in Kentucky. It's not fucking millions upon millions of people. It's a few 100,000, maybe at most. Usually it's right in the ballpark of tens of thousands of people, which you can get. They are here if you provide them a better future or a better way forward. But when you run fucking Amy McGrath, who's not even really fucking from goddamn Kentucky, she's some Connecticut transplant who doesn't understand the people and isn't trying to pander to anybody and is basically like, hey man, I'm here to fucking run for office, and then leaves and you never see them again. Who gives a fuck? Just got here. Holy cow, do I see over 800 concurrent viewers? Oh yeah. Yeah, by the way, hit the fucking sub button if you're new here. Let's see if we can get up to 1K maybe. We need the left to be more libertarian, sock dem sock, rather than authoritarian, insane garbage. Yes. I'm ready for 2026. Let's fight base. Tremendous. By the way, Uncle Iroll, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. Jesus fucking Christ. We're cracking them out today, boys. Let's listen to some more of this fucking Vaush video. We'll hear it from the horse's mouth himself, quite literally. Wait, did I lose track of that? Okay, I stacked it over the top of it.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be a rough 4 years, maybe more than 4 years. It's going to be a rough time. I don't know. I have a whole video on what if Trump wins. I talk at length there. Most of what I said in that video, I think, is still accurate. What might happen, the negatives, the concerns you should have. I think for the most part, the stuff that I said there still applies. I think maybe there were some positive caveats that I didn't discuss in it. I didn't address the possibility that Republicans might have an unexpectedly good win, and as a consequence of that, they might dial back some of the more extremist rhetoric that they were using for populist political points because they've gotten what they wanted. And
am I drinking beer at 2 p.m.? It's a fakie. I'm a teetotaler. I gave up alcohol over a year ago. This is it is a treat because it is post-election day. I'm doing the post-election self-care too, okay? This is athletic, alcohol-free, hazy IPA. Which is how you know I'm a fucking demon. I'm drinking 409 Pledge fucking window cleaner for the taste and not the effect. The video is quiet. Is it really? Hold on. This is probably just Vaush.
And they might get a little more complacent in victory. This actually happens quite often with authoritarian governments where you have a populist right-wing leader who, promises the world. And by promising the world, I mean like a but they once addressed the possibility that Republicans might have an unexpectedly good win, and as a consequence of that, they might dial back some of the more extremist rhetoric that they were using for populist political points because they've gotten what they wanted, and they might get a little more complacent in victory. This actually happens quite often with authoritarian governments, where you have a populist right-wing leader who, promises the world, and by promising the world, I mean like a lot of negative things, like bad. And after they win, they dial it back because it's much more sustainable to keep that energy going during the election cycle and not once they're actually in power. Just 1 second. I was being offered McDonald's. It was an uninteresting interruption, but I really appreciate my roommate asking if I wanted some. Honest to God, not a big McDonald's guy, just not a big, it's not, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I like Taco Bell a long time. It's pretty bad. Whatever ends up happening, though, I'd encourage everyone watching to keep a clear head and an open mind. Things are rarely as bad as they seem. Your imagination, your anticipation, your fear of what is happening is often quite a bit worse than the actuality. Donald Trump's first presidential term was bad, but remember that estimations of its badness, expectations of its badness, fears of its badness were greater than how bad it actually was. And that's not because people overestimated how bad Trump is. He's quite bad. It's because fear usually jumps ahead of reality. Keep a still mind and a empty, not empty, I was going to say empty head. Honestly, keeping an empty head.
Thanks for your answer, Tyler. Wow, that was loud. A normal talk would be even better. Love how you're handling things right now. I'll shut my European mouth now. That's all good. Thank you. You can talk. Any European can say anything they want in chat as long as they append 10 euros to that.
It would probably be to the benefit of your emotional well-being right now, but keep a calm mind. You know, I just know that over the next few months, years, maybe I'm going to have to deal with, and pardon me for the victimizing language here with myself, but sometimes chat does get on my nerves a bit. I'm going to have to deal with people being very upset. They're going to be asking me very emphatically, like, what can I do? What should I do? I don't know what you should do. I know what processes you should adopt in order to maximize the likelihood of you making it through this. That you should be calm. That you should befriend your neighbors. Develop close relations with the people around you. I mean it. Talk to people. Develop a spot nearby. Have people nearby whose phone numbers you know that you can rely on. Familiarize yourself with the laws of your local environment. Honest to God, familiarize yourself with the parts of it you don't like as much. The police precinct and the jail. Maybe you'll learn a thing walking out the front or even dipping your head in. Anything special? Anything important? Maybe not. Maybe it'll just help you understand. Get out of your bubble.
This is obscene. Why are you saying this now? This isn't just something you should do because Donald Trump. You should just do this. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, man, I really want to get in shape, and someone just says, like, well, have you tried exercise? The thought that you're a political streamer and you just inherently know that even though your people have been listening to you for all this fucking time, none of them have a goddamn clue, a fucking clue about the basic operations, the day-to-day basic operations of their local government is very fucking telling to me. Like that's just absolutely insane. Are these good things to do? Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously. Okay. Anyone, your fucking high school civics teacher would have told you the same stuff.
Be calm. Walk the neighborhood. It seems like a lot of this election result coming down on a gender divide. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Men are not sending their best. Well, they sent me. Apart from me, men aren't sending their best. So you might want to keep that in mind. I don't know. Be lesbian if you're a chick. I don't know. We'll see how this pans out. We'll see how that pans out. Keep your passport updated. Save money. I mean it. If you drink, don't. If you smoke, don't.
What?
I mean it. I'm not joking. I know these little pleasures make life so much easier, but this is really, really the time to try. Again, this isn't a...
No, what are you fucking talking about? If you smoke, actually do just quit smoking for your own personal health. But if you want to have a couple beers because the fucking Donald Trump one, I mean, like, if you drink recreationally, I don't drink or smoke anymore, but I did for a long time, particularly into my mid-20s. Not smoking and not drinking, it's not going to change shit. This is like so strapped for advice about politics that you're giving advice for just personal betterment instead. Like, are we just back to Vaush being like, well, you need to have confidence. You should just have confidence. Become a lesbian. Update your passport. Move to Barcelona. Yeah. Move to Vaush's favorite place, Barcelona. Go to Spain, where like there's 150 people dead in a goddamn mall parking lot, a submerged mall parking lot because of flash flooding filled it. And it's a gigantic corpse sewer, like a fucking Dark Souls area. Yeah. There's somewhere to go. Yeah, get your passport up to date so you can flee to a worse country, because there's only worse options unless you're a national from those countries. If you're not going to the UK, do you speak another language, fucko? Are you rich enough that you can get by on not speaking Spanish in Spain? Do you speak Russian, person that wants to flee to Russia? Do you speak fucking Mandarin? Do you understand French, even remotely? Or do you want to go to France and be like, what are you? Oh, and as a refugee. You cannot even say croissant. No, dude, you're a fucking American. You're stuck here with all the rest of us. Your family fled here, idiot. This is the good place. Okay? You've got to keep it good. You got to fight for this motherfucker. Win elections. That's what you need to do. If you're fucking like, well, I feel like I supported Vaush. I gave hundreds to Progressive Victory. Yeah, the first thing you need to do is cut Vaush out of your fucking life. I know this is going to sound like crazy advice, but abandon the pedophile. Stop making the fucking horse porn guy that has barely a fucking grasp on how to be a normal human being your guiding light to winning elections. Don't ask a guy that makes $300,000 or some whatever the fuck it is he said a year talking into a camera about how to get by as a poor person. He doesn't know. His dad's a VFX fucking artist. He grew up in Beverly Hills. You know Beverly Hills from the show Beverly Hills 90210? That's him. Okay? He doesn't know you. That's why the advice sounds like horse shit. 'Cause it is, homie. It is. It always has been. Save money. He told, in this economy, you know why you fucking lost? He's trying to tell you to save money. How many of you can save money? I'm in a 2-income household. We both make money. We can save money. I don't have kids. Don't intend on having them. I can save all kinds of money. Hey, out there, 1-income household, 3 children. Hey, save money. If you're an adult, that's not advice. It's either suggesting something you are already doing because you're a fucking adult or you can't do because you're fucking strapped. Okay? That's horrible advice because it's not really advice. You know what I mean? And it's not something that's like, hey, a calming action, drink water. Just, dude, stress yourself out. Enjoy your life less. Stop getting lattes. Stop spending $5 on lattes. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Worthless. None of this has anything to do with surviving. You're probably already fucking doing it. If you made it through COVID and you have a bank account, you know how to save money and when you can and can't do it. All right? Like, what in the fuck is this shit?
A moral judgment. I'm not telling you like, oh, you're a bad person if you drink. No. I am asking you. I am pleading with you sincerely as a person who doesn't know you. Probably some of the people watching this I might know.
Tyler, I only know Beverly Hills from the Disney movie Beverly Hills Chihuahuas based.
But it would be in your best interest to save. For what? I don't know. You know? Just saying. And I know it's tempting, but I promise you that drinking yourself into a stupor after a disappointing election result will not actually make you feel better. You will wake up and you will have a headache and you will still be living in a world where that election result happened. You will feel worse. I'm just suggesting. People always jump at me when I say this. I'm just trying to give you advice. I'll give you more advice like I'm your damn parent. Clean your room. I mean it. You are going to have to, in order for you to get through this, and you will. Statistically speaking, if you're watching this, you will. The vast majority of you will. That's how it is. 4 years is a lot, don't get me wrong, but on a human time scale, a lot happens, a lot changes. People who were born in time to serve for World War I died after the moon landing. Oh, you've got a lot of time ahead of you.
It's like 50 years apart. What? Yeah, the moon landing was like, what, like 1964? Yeah, you're like, what, 60, 70 years? Yeah, I mean, it's not like this gigantic gulf. What it's just funny as fuck to me. Like, yeah, what are you talking about? Like, some of them saw computers, bro. Like, there's people that survived World War I and saw, like, the internet. Like, they saw Usenet. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You've got a lot of time to get better. You've got a lot of time to work for, so you can see, so you can be.
Oh my god, yeah, he's turning into Jordan Peterson.
Well positioned to live through. And in order for you to do that, you might have to enforce a level of self-discipline that you are not previously accustomed to. I mean, waking up early and going to sleep early. I mean, not participating in vices. I mean, saving money. I mean, caring about your posture. I mean, regular walks and exercise. You are going to need to health max. You are going to need to.
Holy fuck, he is. He's Peterson maxing. What in the... What in the fuck is this? Mind you, this is like, hey, what should I do after the election? You should fix your posture. Go to bed. First thing every day, you should make your bed every day when you get up. What? Why are we 12 rules for lifing feeling bad after an election loss? It's like the last thing. I mean, I know I said some similar stuff. You know what I mean? But it's not the hyper focus. My biggest thing is we need to get away from the kind of political messaging that guys like fucking Hassan and Vaush do, because it's inherently alienating. It doesn't get dividends for how much effort you do, but also you can affect it. All right. Obviously, you can't change things at the tippity tip top at the DNC, but if you're going to be donating money to anybody or focusing on elections, you should be hyper focusing on your small level political elections in your area. You should join the DNC. Unironically, if you don't like the DNC, join it and change it, or start another political party. But it's going to have to be small and it's going to have to be in your area. And get away from doomers that make you feel bad so they can suck up donos and give you bad advice in turn. If I had to say anything, stop taking political advice from a guy that got caught cracking it to fucking AI horse porn with kids in it. That's how about that? There's some pretty solid advice. I feel like that would, if you had to take it to your parents, right, or a father figure. I walked to the top of the mountain and I was presented with two possibilities. On one hand, a man told me to make my bed in the morning and learn how to have better posture and go for walks and avoid vices to get better at politics. And on the other hand, the man told me to stop listening to a man who masturbates to child pornography involving horses. Whose advice is better? Well, both of it's pretty good, but I'm going to tell you right now, you should probably go with the guy that said don't jerk off to what the horse... What is that even? Come back down off the mountain. Great Khan has spoken. God damn.
Need to be wellness pilled. And I am not just doing this as a way to shoehorn in, clean your room or whatever. It's for your benefit, okay? Don't let this tear you as a person apart. You as a person can persist through this. No matter how bad it gets, the majority of you will make it through it. So you got to do everything you can to make that happen. Okay? I'm just saying don't give up on it. All right? There are lots of people all around the world who endure worse circumstances than you have up to this point, and what you will endure over the next 4 or however many years. You
don't like your democracy? There's starving kids in Africa that wish they had as much democracy as you. Mom, can we have an electoral victory? We have electoral victory at home.
I'm not saying you got it easy. You don't. I'm not saying that you should be, because kids in Africa are starving, whatever. I'm just saying they do make it work in a lot of cases. There are people in Malaysia right now sitting around a campfire, they've got their guns propped up against the... Did I say Malaysia? I meant to say Myanmar. All right. I like Taco Bell. That's one plus racism and anti-racism canceling out. Like a positron and an electron, Boom. A flash of energy and gone. I meant to say Myanmar. But the point is, they're around... did I say... Proton? No, positron.
How do you do that twice in a row? Isn't it like a proton and an electron, right? Cancel out positive, negative. But I thought it was actually a proton and a neutron, even though a neutron's a neutral, right? Electron always wants to go somewhere. You can load it up with neutrons, and you get like a neutrino. I don't remember chemistry.
Not a proton, you idiot. A positron is the opposite of an electron. Positron is correct. I was correct.
What? No, an electron is a negatively charged particle in an atom. A proton is a positively charged particle, and a neutron is a neutral particle. Usually, the core of an atom, if I remember this correctly, is comprised of protons and neutrons with an electron cloud, or whatever you want to call it, around it. And because the electrons are usually pretty free and they go between things, and that's how molecular bonds are formed. And you can have a higher atomic weight by increasing the amount of neutrons till you get to, I think, neutrinos, right? What the fuck is a positive? Hold on. I'm so stunned. How did Vaush turn his failed post-election strategy conversation into bad chemistry? Hold on. What is a positron? It's the antiparticle of an electron. It has all the properties of an electron except for the polarity of the electrical charge, which is positive. Therefore, a positron can simply be considered an electron having a positive unit electrical charge. So it doesn't necessarily cancel it out. So a positron is a positively charged electron. Positrons are emitted in the positive beta decay of proton-rich, neutron-deficient radioactive material and are formed in pair production, in which the energy of a gamma ray in the field of a nucleus is converted into an electron-positron pair. So he's just describing, it doesn't really cancel each other out in a calm way. It cancels out each other in a creating, like, DNA annihilating gamma waves ray. He's right. Positrons have the same mass as electrons with an opposite charge. Okay. It's antimatter stuff. Yes, but the electrons and protons have different mass. Positron is a positively charged electron. The difference is a proton and a positron is that a proton is a naturally occurring particle, but a positron, I believe, occurs during radioactive decay. Yeah, that's confusing.
You were wrong. A proton doesn't cancel out again. You said positron, which is correct. Okay. Right now, in Myanmar, there are some cheery 20-somethings laughing around a campfire, their guns propped up against a wall. They're chanting and cheering. They're doing some stupid little bit. Someone's got a joke. They're doing a Haktua joke. Their life is harder than yours. Lola, campfire? Yeah, a campfire. You know what's going on in Myanmar? You think they're around a stone hearth? You think they got a remote to switch up and down the...
God damn, this is fucking irritating as shit. Trash. Trash content, as per usual. So, like, typically protons and electrons cancel each other out charge-wise. Protons cancel out electrons cancel out positrons by exploding in electron-positron annihilation, which isn't the good kind of... it's not the good kind of neutralization. It's like fucking radioactive decay. I guess it's technically correct, but also, what in the fuck was the example he was even making? It's so fucking baffling. Myanmar does still have electricity. I don't even know. Do you think positrons in Africa are ready for the revolution? Absolutely, dude. He is really just Peterson in a lamer suit. Bro needs to be more Joker pilled if he wants to match the energy and truly become top lobster. Alex from Yek delivering another insane soliloquy. Oh, Vaush unironically thinks Asians discovered fire 10 minutes ago. Dude, the fucking, like, the lefty, like, low expectation racism is fucking bonkers level over there. Over there in fucking Washington or wherever the fuck it is he lives.